Okay, welcome back everybody to another MTGO League. This time I'm going to be running some four-color elementals through. This has been gaining in popularity over the past few weeks. Seen a couple of people do well, notably Corey Baumeister in one of the SCG tournaments recently. This is actually his list from his kind of post-tournament review. I'll link the article in the description below so you can go and find out his thoughts on the deck. He ended up coming second in that event. Really pleased with the list, so looks really cool. So thought I'd give it a go. It was also the event I attended a couple of weeks back. Was won by Autumn Burchett piloting this deck. So yeah, thought I'd run it through, and might be a contender for any upcoming tournaments I've got. So it's pretty similar to the four-color list we've played before. You've got the staples, you've got the Omnaths, the Fairies, Wrenn and Six, etc. Not really ever going to cut those, but then you get more of the kind of elemental package. So you get the 4 Risen Reef, which it looks on the face of it to be a pretty mopey thing, but when you run, as soon as you start having, multiple elementals into the battlefield, it turns in, every elemental that enters the battlefield after this one, you get a trigger, and you can, if it's a land card, you can put it onto the battlefield. If it's not, you put it into your hand. So it's essentially draw a card. It's essentially a free growth spiral whenever an elemental enters the battlefield. Then we got 2 copies of Oath of Nissa, which Corey said he's really impressed by, and something that I've enjoyed playing in the past. And you do get access to 2 Cavern of Souls in the main. So just another way to fight the pesky counter spells, because we're not running any sort of counter magic here. So yeah, pretty. You also get 4 copies of Eladamri's Call, so you can usually try and find the creatures that you need, and that explains the 2 kind of silver bullets here: Endurance, Magus of the Moon. Just where those are going to be relevant, and then you also get some kind of silver bullets in the sideboard. So Knight of Autumn, Meddling Mage, and then 3 further copies of Endurance to fight the graveyard decks. So yeah, really excited to give this a go. Let's get into first round. Thank you everyone that's watching today, and thank you to everyone that's subscribed recently. We have hit 300 subscribers, which is amazing. So yeah, next to power on to 400, I guess. I hope everyone's doing well, and hope everyone's enjoying the content. So yeah, let's see how we get on with this elementals list. Okay, going to be on the draw here for round number 1. Yeah, this hand's good. It's not. Yeah, we'd rather have a turn 1. Yeah, at the moment, if we want to play Wrenn and Six on 2, we're going to have to play this Triome on 1. We could draw another land, of course, but playing the Triome on 1 obviously just means that our opponent may play something like a Ragavan, which we then have to choose between either letting it hit us, solitude-ing it by losing an extra card, or we could play Flooded Strand and Unholy Heat it. But may not be a problem if our opponent doesn't play anything. So, or we may rip another land. Let's find out. Okay, so what I was saying has indeed come true. It looks like our opponent is going to be on Murktide. So I think we're going to have to Unholy Heat this. There's no real way about it. So Forest, Island, Mountain. So we need to get plains. Yeah, I think it has to be Sacred Foundry here to make sure we've got all our colours, and that does cast the Wrenn and Six. So yeah, let's get Sacred Foundry, and we'll heat this before our opponent can untap with counter magic. It could be that we're meant to play the tap land and then Solitude, but we do have a chance here to get Wrenn and Six going anyway if we draw an untapped land. Okay, so opponent playing just a basic kind of screaming counterspell here. Okay, so we do hit another land. I wonder if we're meant to just I don't actually think we're meant to play the Renin 6 here, just straight into a spell pierce from the opponent. I think I'm just going to Eladamri's Call end of turn. You know, waste my opponent's mana. There's a bauble. Oh, okay, so Hallowed Fountain, Jeskai. So opponent probably on sort of Teferi Time Reveler. It's definitely possible that we should have just jammed the Ketria Triome there and then tried for Risen Reef, but okay, so we need green, blue. So let's get Breeding Pool. And we'll just Eladamri's Call. I'm not sure what for here. Okay, opponent not Mishra's Bawbling us to get information. A little bit premature because we're now going to search our library again. Quick note on that actually in paper, I guess. So in paper here, one would probably shortcut, fetch and cast Eladamri's Call, but the opponent does have Mishra's Bauble, so it's actually possibly correct to be a bit slower. Right, so what do we want to get here? I think I kind of want Endurance, given that my opponent, it's a flash threat and it stops Murktide Regent, so I think I'm just going to get an Endurance here. Cavern of Souls is probably our best draw. Okay, Ice Fang's fine. Again, I think now that we've drawn a flash threat, I think now I'm happy to just play the Ice Fang. Again, my opponent doesn't get to use their mana there. Don't really care if they Murktide us at the moment. Okay, so play the land. This looks like the more controlling type version of this. They're probably not on the Dragon's Rage channeler. This list has been kind of cutting that. Oh, we can't play this. Well, that was stupid of me, wasn't it? Yeah, I should have just jammed the Renin 6 there. This land does not let us cast Ice Fang. Okay, so yeah, getting myself in a bit of a muddle there. Which is yeah, not ideal. Because we waste our mana then. Okay. Land would be good. Okay, so we do hit a land, which means we can go Renin 6 and cast Ice Fang. Let's go Renin 6 first. Oh, should have played my land there in case of Spell Pierce from the opponent. Okay, but we're happy to trade our Renin 6 there for an Archmage's Charm. Okay, so we'll play our Ice Fang now. Opponent's got 4 cards in hand. This could be something like Teferi, which wouldn't be ideal. Not Teferi. This Murktide Regent? Okay, so it is Murktide, but it's only a 4/4. And we do have, yeah, I've messed up my lands a bit here, which is a shame. I think we can just afford to go and get a basic now, maybe. We got 2 forests. Yeah, I think we'll just go and grab a forest. Play this Ice Fang. So opponent probably has a counterspell for whatever we play next. We could do with drawing a white card, really. Okay, Fury is actually pretty good. Although we don't have a red card. Okay, another Solitude is pretty good. So we're going to try and go for Risen Reef and then Solitude, I think. Yeah, let's go Risen Reef. Because this takes away the downside of the elementals as well, if you manage to get it to resolve. Okay, opponent counterspelling that, so I'm just going to go ahead and Solitude now. What do we want to get rid of? Is it Solitude or Teferi? I think I'm going to get rid of Solitude. That attack's probably incorrect. Because away back, you know, but I think we're ahead here. We don't really want our opponent to dash a Ragavan. Okay, so nothing from the opponent there. Cavern of Souls is great. Okay, we quite like a land. I think in my opponent's upkeep step, I'm going to endurance them. Okay, let's cast endurance. Yeah, just stopping my opponent casting Murktide Regent, or trying to anyway. And it stonewalls an opponent's Ragavan if they find one as well. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go and get the other Triome here. Make sure our mana's pretty good. Okay, another land. I think I'm going to go for Teferi first. I will play my land first. Play the Teferi. I mean, this is definitely going to get met with a counterspell. Yep. That's fine. Yeah, I think I'm just going to beat down now. Then we'll fetch another basic island. It is possible that the opponent has Blood Moon, but very unlikely, I'd say. Yeah, Endurance is kind of an all-star in this matchup. Okay, opponent got 3 cards in hand. Okay, Abundant Growth's a nice draw. It's Abundant Growth here. Opponent thinking about countering this? Surely not. Okay, opponent cashing in a Spell Pierce, which we'll definitely pay for. I guess Spell Pierce not really getting any better, but it stops us casting Yorion as well. Magus of the Moon. Don't think I'm really inclined to cast Magus, or am I? It would cut my opponent off white mana. No, I don't think we want to do that at this point in time. We'll probably cut Magus of the Moon. This is where they slam Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, and I'm sad. Okay, Murktide Regent. Okay. That's a 5/5. I could attack and then play Fury. I think that's what we're going to do. Opponent probably sees this coming. So we could Yorion, which would draw some cards. Play a land. Yorion would draw me one card here. Or we could Fury, which puts lethal onto the field. Whereas Yorion doesn't quite. I think I'm going to Yorion here. Oh, this does have reach as well. So we'll equip here. Do I want to endurance myself? Don't think so. Prison Reef, not too bad a draw. We could double block here. I wonder if I'm meant to double block. That would be 7. Opponent can't bolt or heat. I guess we get kind of blown out by... Wouldn't it? Yeah, maybe opponent does attack. See what we get here. Utopia Sprawl. So that's essentially a land. So if we attack with everything, trouble is if my opponent has a blocker. Let's go Risen Reef first, I think. Okay, opponent has counterspell for our Risen Reef. So you don't actually have quite enough now. What do we think about Magus now? I think I now Magus. We're going to make... We need... So we actually got double of every colour. Do we need triple of every colour at all? Let's go blue. And then we could, yeah, let's just go Magus here. It's not the best, but also it dies to bolt or heat. Stops Archmage's charms as well. Okay, but it's drawing 2 cards there. So yeah, no attacks from us this time. We're ahead on board, but our opponent does have 3 cards in hand. Two cards now, but they've got a draw from Mishra's Bauble. This is a bit of an odd attack. What are we really afraid of here? I guess Brazen Borrower. We're taking 5 here. They could have Bolt. I think I'm best to just double block here. Opponent could have just have another Murktide. Yeah, I think I'm going to make the double block here. It could be that my opponent has forgotten that this has reach. They can't heat it, so if they want to spend 2 bolts on one of these, could be, what's this, Cryptic? Surely not. No, it can't be Cryptic. Brazen Borrower is scary. Okay, yeah, they got Otawara. Can't really endurance at the moment. Okay, Teferi's probably our best draw there. And by probably, I mean definitely. So return this Murktide. Yeah, Omnath's not too shabby either. Attack with Magus. Cast Endurance. Yeah, casting this now just to stop, try and stop the opponent casting their Murktide Regent again. They might be able to do it for 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, if they find a land, they can cast a Murktide Regent. Okay, they do run Thought Scour apparently. Although, yeah, given this Magus of the Moon, can't actually cast their Murktide Regent, so yeah, we do get there. Few misplays, so the whole land thing at the beginning wasn't ideal. That block was maybe ambitious, and kind of Teferi bailed us out, but we do get there. Okay, so in this matchup, we want both the Veil of Summers. We want the Supreme Verdict. We want probably all 3 Endurance. Not that much of a fan of Utopia Sprawl, potentially. Makes of the Moon, while it was okay there, I don't think it's good in general. And given my opponent's seen it, they probably fetch around it now. Right, so Solitude's really good. Fury we never actually managed to cast there, so I think we can trim some number of Furies. Memory Deluge is probably interesting. Maybe we don't. I saw in Corey's article that, you know, if you don't really, if you don't need to find a specific creature, Eladamri's Call can be awkward. But I mean, here finding Endurance is pretty good, although we are running the full 4 copies. Let's get rid of another Fury, and then what do we think about cutting Eladamri's Call for Memory Deluge? Okay, this hand is it's okay. It's got, if we have to remove a turn 1 Ragavan, we can. It's got an Endurance, and it does have a turn 1 play, which is always nice with this deck. Okay, we like Eladamri's Call. So I'm just going to go and get, could be red-green. I think it's red-green here, because then next turn we can heat something if we need to. And we can still cast Eladamri's Call. Or is it blue-green? No, I think red-green is fine. Yep. Oath of Nissa. This might get Spell Pierced. Okay, no Spell Pierce. What do we want here? I think I'm just going to take a Teferi. Yeah, Teferi is just so good in the matchup. Pass the turn. Yeah, anyone wanting to pick up this deck, definitely go and read Corey's article. I'll link down below. A lot of good information in there. Okay, so we've got another land now, so I think I just want to Eladamri's Call here. Making sure I can actually cast it this time. Yeah, I mean, wasting my opponent's mana is pretty good. 2 mana. Could be Chalice on 1. Doubtful. Oh, Iteration. Sure. So now I'm thinking my opponent probably has Spell Pierce. They probably don't jam Expressive Iteration just into They probably don't jam Expressive Iteration just into my known Teferi. Actually, given that, I think I'll just go and get Risen Reef. Yeah, that's fine. You can't spell Pierce or Risen Reef. They can, I guess it could be Dispute. Yeah, my opponent could have Mystical Dispute here, which would make us a bit sad. What are we going to get? Breeding Pool. We need double green, so Breeding Pool seems good. Kind of banking on my opponent having Spell Pierce and not Dispute, which does happen. Looking like a bolt here. Okay, got Heat, which is fine. Oh, I should have. Okay, let's name Elemental. So the opponent's got some graveyard, and yeah, that that Cavern of Souls was actually a really good hit there, because we can next turn, if my opponent decides they want to Murktide Regent here, we can just Teferi. Sorry, we can just Uncounterable Solitude. Right, so we got 3 card types. So yeah, we could do with heating that. Another Teferi. So we got 5 mana. Obviously, yeah, this is pretty good. What do we want to do? Maybe it's just... Okay, I think it's Teferi, bounce Oath of Nissa. Especially since we've got another Teferi. Ending, eh? Okay. So, just cast Oath of Nissa. Yeah, we'll get an Omnath here. Pass the turn. Obviously, as soon as my opponent does anything to put a card type in our graveyard, we'll Unholy Heat the Jace. Actually, we probably don't here. If they let's say they bolt to Fairy, we probably untap. So maybe I should be keeping Fury in, especially given we've got Cavern of Souls. So this turn, if let's just say my opponent doesn't really do much, we go to Fairy, which puts a Teferi in the bin, and then we could Endurance here, but given that we've got all of this stuff, I'm pretty happy to just if my opponent wants to play a Murktide here, I think that's fine. Could be a Prismatic Ending on the Teferi, which is actually the best one because it stops us. March of Otherworldly Light, that. Okay, that's an interesting one. Okay, they're just going for Murktide here. This is actually the best scenario for us, because we can now just go Teferi, bounce, heat the Jace. Take this up. Yeah, we're drawing pretty well as well. Oh, and now we can just kind of do everything now, because we can go Omnath, Teferi, heat. So Red, green, blue. Play a land, gain a whole bunch of life. Yeah, it's going to get Sacred Foundry, I think. Make a load of mana, cast another Teferi, keep that one, return this. That puts another card type in the graveyard. Yeah, so pretty good turn there. I should have kept the green mana up, because then I could have endurance to stop my opponent recasting their Murktide Regent. But yeah, that's fine. Engineered explosives on 3. Okay, that's okay. So yeah, the opponent going to do that, I think. Get rid of the Teferi. That probably implies my... Oh, okay, they just have a Murktide Regent. Okay, well in that case I'm just going to get rid of their... one of those. And tap. Tip this up. It's only a 3/3 as well, which is pretty good. We'll play a land. I guess I should probably do this now. Yeah, opponent's just conceded from the game. So yeah, we just massively outvalue our opponent there. Yeah, they just couldn't really come back for it. Deck seems really strong. You know, we did draw to fairies at the right time. Things worked out pretty well in our favour. But we did plan ahead well with the heat and everything there. So yeah, working out for us in game 1. See you for game 2. Right, on the draw for round number 2. So here we see an interesting one. I think I'm going to mulligan though. You just can't keep one-landers. We're fairly likely to find one with Oath of Nissa. Oh, this is even worse, unfortunately. We do go down to 5. Okay, down to 4. I guess we'll keep this. We'll get rid of 1. I think we'll keep 2 lands. 2. And then it could be that we just want to keep Solitude Ephemerate. No, I think we'll get rid of the Solitude. I just can't see us wanting to go down on even more cards. Okay, Abundant Growth's a nice draw. Oh, I guess I bottomed the wrong land because I can't actually have a Damri's Call at the moment. Maybe I meant to next turn. No, I think I want to use my mana. So an option is to just Abundant Growth next turn on the Steam Vents. Okay, we draw a land anyway, so deck coming to the rescue. Okay, opt. So this looking like blue-white control. The only deck I know. It could be Storm. Okay, well we're drawing okay. So we'll Ella Damri's Call, probably for Risen Reef. Could be for Omnath. Okay, so Esper. So we'll go and grab. So I need blue or white. This is obviously any colour. I think you probably want... Just going to get breeding pool, I think. Cast Eladamri's Call. I kind of want to get Endurance here, just as a flash threat. We could get Magus, but that's probably not correct. I think I'm going to get Risen Reef. But I'm going to... So I'm going to go for Teferi here. Because I want to be able to ephemerate a Risen Reef in response to a removal spell. And I also... there's also a potential that we can draw Cavern of Souls, which would obviously make our Risen Reef uncounterable. So I wouldn't mind finding a land here. Abundant Growth. I think we're going to wait. Well, maybe we're meant to just jam Risen Reef. Uses our mana better. Yeah, I think that's probably better. Probably counter this, but it does use all of our mana. Okay, Drown the Lock. So yeah, Esper Control. Not something you see every day, but... Okay, opponent misses a land drop as well. Okay, we find Temple Garden. So let's go Abundant Growth on this. Assuming the opponent won't have too much to say about that. Okay, we'll play a land, and I'm just going to put Yorion in our hand. We can cast Yorion next turn if we need to. So knowing that they've got Drown in the Lock makes Endurance quite interesting. Okay, opponent does have a Snapcaster Mage, which will probably try and Prismatic Ending. Obviously taking quite a lot of damage from our lands. Opponent's got 5 cards in hand, which is a little bit worrying. Okay, Fury, I mean, it's not likely to resolve, one would think. We don't really want our opponent scrying either. Yeah, we can make double red, so we'll cast Fury here. Oh, another Snapcaster Mage is rough. It's going to counter. I mean, they might just draw 2, but I can't. Why would they not drown this? Oh, they're drawing 2 cards. Wait, I really don't understand that. Because now I get to kill both Snapcaster Mages. Okay. Well, we'll take it. I think if my opponent just counters there, they could Drown in the Lock. Yeah, pretty surprised at my opponent's play there. But there we go. Okay, well, that's a good draw. So now we've drawn that, I'm just going to sit back. We can lean on Ephemerate as well. Snapcaster Mage. Okay, this is fine. Targeting Drown. So I could have Eladamri's Call for Endurance there. I think I Ephemerate here. Or I could just Eladamri's Call for Endurance and Endurance myself. I quite like that. We're definitely Eladamri's Calling. Opponent could have something like Force, I guess. Do we just want to get something a bit better? We could just ephemerate, obviously. I think I'm just going to get endurance. We get more power on the board. Yeah, don't know. I feel that's fine. I think Eladamri's calling for something like Risen Reef there would obviously have been preferable. But yeah, that would have obviously been preferable. But my opponent's so much more likely to have a counterspell for it. Okay, we don't mind drawing more copies of Ephemerate, so I'm going to attack Teferi with everything here. Opponent's got 7 cards in hand, but they can't drown in the lock. I've got 2 copies of Ephemerate. See what my opponent does. Obviously, if they just run out of Snapcaster Mage. Solitude, okay. Kai's Guile entering the exile zone. So we'll let that happen, and then I'll just ephemerate my Fury. We could have actually gone for Prismatic Ending here, but if my opponent has another Solitude, Fatal Push. I think I'm just ephemerating again. I think we just have to kill the Teferi. It's just so much damage. Not damage, sorry. Yeah, it's just so much card advantage. Opponent has 5 cards in hand. If I can ever land this in Yorion, obviously we don't know what my opponent's got in hand. This is something. Okay, Jace. Possibly bounce. Well, I mean, Ephemerate's in theory going to come off, and then Fury will be able to kill the Jace. Unless I don't want that to be a thing. I think I do. So yeah, there's options here. So we could just attack the Jace. Maybe that's just better. What do we think? I think I will. I'm just going to ephemerate. Kill Jace. We'll leave one Ephemerate out though. Plays better around Drowning the Lock. Okay, well we just get to draw 2 cards here. Maybe I should have omnathed first, but that seems a bit greedy, especially if we don't find a fetch land. So I'll put one on. We might want to do Magus of the Moon as shenanigans at some point. Okay, so we would have actually drawn the fetch land, but I guess this plays a little bit better around Supreme Verdict as well. Yeah, that's fine. So opponent probably has a counterspell here, but I get the impression I'm meant to just keep jamming stuff. It does resolve. Okay. Let's go land. I wonder if I meant to do this main phase. To try and draw a card. Yeah, I feel like I am. Oh, that was a mistake. I forget that we're going to make loads of mana there. Well, we'll cast this to Fairy. Well, the opponent still doesn't have anything to say about that. So I'll return an Abundant Growth. Cast an Abundant Growth again. And given that we mull to 4, we've now overtaken our opponent both in terms of board and cards. Which is pretty nice. Deluge. Okay. Okay, well the opponent casts their Deluge, obviously doesn't find what they're looking for and packs it in. So from a mull to 4, we definitely came back. I think if my opponent had killed my Fury instead of drawing 2 cards, I think we are in a lot worse shape there. Obviously we drew very well with a double Ephemerate to kill the Teferi, but we also leveraged that to our advantage, you know. Okay, so definitely double Veil of Summer. This is probably an endurance matchup. What don't we like, I guess? All these are good to kill the Planeswalkers. I think Utopia... I have a quite a hatred for Utopia Sprawl. Just whenever you... Unless you play it exactly turn 1, I just feel like it's... I don't know. Let me know if people have different opinions on that, but it just seems so bad to me to top deck later on. I guess when you're drawing enough cards, maybe. But Prismatic Ending... Don't think we want that. So it's Deluge and Emrakul. I think we do want the Magus. Given that my opponent's seems to be running Snapcaster Mages and Deluges, we want the Endurances. Fury's quite weak. Oh, I guess Solitude doesn't do too much for us here. Let's got a couple of Solitudes for those. And then I think Dovin's Veto is probably quite nice here. Just to counter the Planeswalkers. Yeah, get rid of another one of those for another Dovin's Veto. And yeah, just go with that. Another little trick if you are, don't know how likely it is to come off and pay off, but if your opponent goes Supreme Verdict and you've got Yorion and some other creatures in hand, you've got, Yorion and some other things on the board, you can ephemerate the Yorion. All your creatures come back end of turn and dodge the verdict. I think it's quite a corner case, but worth noting. Yeah, that sounds great. It's got a bit of everything. We could another thing. So say we were against Tron here. It's definitely possible that the best play is to go Evoke Fury turn 1, ephemerate it. And then you just have a 3/3 double striker on the field that can, yeah, you just attack for 6 each turn. That can be the the aggro plan. Could be that we should have done that here, but I don't think so. Okay, so I'm going to go and get a Triome. Let's get I think we'll just get Ralgren Triome. So worth as well noting that if you expect the games to go long, as we potentially expect these to, it's worth keeping some number of Triomes in your deck so that you can cycle them later. So here we're going to play the Shockland. It plays around Drown in the Lock for our Renin 6. Opponent can't drown this with only one card in the graveyard. They have counterspell as it turns out, but okay, opponent has 3 mana. So I think here think end of turn I'm just going to go Endurance. Probably putting my opponent's graveyard back. I wonder if I should be Endurancing now in case they're on Murktide. I guess it's what we're going to go and get. So we need more white, probably more white and green. So yeah, we'll cast this Endurance. I think I'm going to target. Opponent might snap counterspell, but we're okay. Let's find a land. We do find a land. I think I'm just going to go to Fairy here. It's just so good against them. Opponent could have another dispute, of course. I think I'm going to minus to draw a card. That's a good draw. Let's go and get basic forest. And we'll go. We have got Magus of the Moon in our deck, so I'm going to Abundant Growth a dual land. Okay, so I was a little bit surprised our opponent countered the Endurance. So that implies that they've got Snapcaster Mage maybe in hand. Okay, that's to Fairy. But we can kill that this turn. Oh, we do need to draw a red source. Unholy Heat. Okay, so this is really good. So this turn's going to be pretty amazing because we can go Risen Reef. Yeah, this is just that's the one of the best draws we could have hoped for actually. Because now we can go Fury. This is just really insane. So we'll put the Evoke trigger on the bottom. Would deal 4 damage to Teferi. And then we get 2 Risen Reef triggers. Okay, and we'll put that in hand. We'll deal 4 damage. And then when we ephemerate this, we get another Risen Reef trigger. Yeah, I'd like to put that one on the battlefield. And then we get to keep our Fury around as well. Yeah, obviously that's kind of insane. And we've got 2 more ephemerates, which I'd probably cash in this turn. And they're great to just point at Risen Reef. Ending my Teferi. I think that's fine. I mean, we couldn't do anything about it, but I'm going to wait for this ephemerate until, you know, my opponent might try and remove in response to this. Ether Gust, targeting Risen Reef. I'm just going to ephemerate again. yeah, we'll put that onto the battlefield. Okay, so we'll play the land. Attack with Fury. And we'll add Yorion to hand. There's no real reason to do anything here. But it could Supreme Verdict. Well, that's another Teferi. Okay. Opponent's conceded from the game. So my Ephemerate was coming in next turn again. So we Ephemerate this. We've got another Ephemerate in hand. We kill Teferi. And then, yeah, just get there. This is these are kind of the matchups that I think we're designed to kind of prey on. Just the kind of control decks where we can just jam our threats until the cows come home. Okay, well, we're 2-0. See you for the next round. Okay, a bit of a weird hand here. It's got a lot of good stuff in it, but it also doesn't really cast. It doesn't cast Run and 6 on 2. I think I'm just gonna mulligan this, but it is close. This is okay. We'll get rid of. I think it's one of the Furies here. Blackleaf Cliffs. Okay. Okay, Abundant Growth. Nice draw. Pass the turn. Mana Confluence. So Dredge. Yeah. Okay, so it's Dredge. So we've got Solitude, Ephemerate, Solitude. Risen Reef's a nice draw as well. Okay, opponent misses on putting any dredges in. Okay, yeah, so yeah, we'll just do this. Vic trigger on the bottom, get rid of this. And then we'll Ephemerate. Okay, so opponent does have Dark Blast. I guess that means that their Silver Smoke Ghoul comes back. Is it the end of your turn? Your end step. Okay, so we'll be able to Ephemerate anyway. Let's go and grab a Triome here. Go get Ralgren. Obviously, we'd quite like to draw a land here. Okay. We do not draw a land. A bit unfortunate. Will they dredge the Dark Blast? They do indeed. Oh, they can cast the Ox, which is pretty good. Yeah. Looking like we might take a loss here to dredge. Opponent's just going to dredge so much of their library here. Bit surprised they didn't opt to kind of dredge the Dark Blast and kill our Solitude. So yeah, we really need to hit lands. We do have this Fury, which is pretty gonna be nice. Although killing the Ox is obviously not ideal. Finding an Ephemerate is our best draw. Another Ox. Okay. That's pretty good. So we're going to cast Fury. If we, I think if we draw anything but Ephemerate, we're in trouble here. Oh, they get loads of those as well. Yeah. Always yield. We should probably kill something. I guess this. Yeah, we need to find Ephemerate really. Renin 6 doesn't help us. I mean, it's okay. I guess it gets back a land. Although, are we just dead? So get that back, play it, play Fury, kill this and this. No, we'll have to kill an Ox. Kill Ox, this, block here, go up to 8. Yeah, we're just dead. Okay. So that was pretty brutal, but we do have some sideboard here. We have we go up to the full play set of Endurance. I think is that all? Further Summer's not much good. I guess we probably want Supreme Verdict. Obviously all of the Endurances. Anything else? Probably not. Magus of the Moon can be interesting. Also, another point in this is that Dredge these days often does not run any basic land types just because the mana is so bad. So Besiegeing their lands early can really, it can just wasteland them essentially. What don't we like? So Renin 6, as I was saying, can work well with Besiege. I think here's probably a matchup where we do want the Utopia Sprawls. Ending's fine, Fury's fine. Ice Fang doesn't really do too much, nor does Renin 6. We obviously want all of the Eladamri's calls. Unholy Heats and Bolts don't really do much. We'll get rid of those. Let's get rid of maybe one Renin 6. Then other ones I'd consider were potentially on the play. I want Dovin's Veto actually to counter their turn 2 Thrilling Discovery or Cathartic Reunion. So I think we can now start trimming the Ice Fangs. Yeah, we can go with that. So yeah, up to the full 4 Endurance here. So hopefully that's enough. Omnath is also one of our biggest friends here. He's just, he blocks things like Prized Amalgam all day and just gains us enough life. Okay, so yeah, I quite like this. We're endurancing on turn. We can endurance if we need to on turn. Well, any time from turn 0, really. Opponent mulls to 4. I guess if my opponent has Leyline of Sanctity, we're in trouble. Because endurance does target. Doesn't look like they do. Pass the turn here. Yeah, I think we can just go and get a Triome. Renin 6 is quite interesting, actually. I think I'm going to play the Renin 6. I think that's better than Eladamri's Call, given that we can... Well, maybe it's not. Let's just go and grab a forest for now. Maybe this is incorrect. I could be sold on this being incorrect because we can't actually endurance now because, well, we can endurance, but that would obviously mean that we'd lose our Eladamri's Call. Yeah, maybe I was meant to just wait there. Okay, they're casting that, which is fine. Creeping Chill. Okay, so they haven't hit anything, so I guess my kind of gamble paid off. Okay, we're finding a lot of lands here. I think we can just pass the turn. Opponent usually goes off at kind of sorcery speed. So it's not worth endurancing to get rid of the graveyard there. You want a lot of triggers on the stack, really, because you don't really care too much about getting rid of their dredges. It's the okay, so I'm happy to do it now. So we'll go and grab, it needs to be plains. We've got double forests, so plains. Probably Sacred Foundry. Cast endurance. Be just struggling a little bit, unless this is a concession lockup, of course. Okay, opponent does concede to our endurance. Okay, so that's pretty convincing there. Opponent did mulligan to 4. Given that our opponent has the potential to bring in Leyline of Sanctity, do we want to bring in Night of Autumn? Is Night of Autumn going to be better than Renin 6? I think it probably is on the play, on the draw. Okay. So yeah, Night of Autumn obviously is able to kill the Leyline of Sanctity. Okay, so this is an interesting one. I think we can keep this. It's a little slow, but it's got the Boseiju. Like I say, if we find enough lands, I guess Boseiju can deal with Leyline of Sanctity as well. But okay, Fury is a nice draw. We just need to buy time with this hand, really. Because if we can get to Eladamri's Call and then Endurance... Opponent did mulligan again. They're binning Cathartic Reunion. They put one on top, so not sure what they're putting on top. Could be another land. Okay, so they've got Thrilling Discovery. They get rid of Golgari Thug. Okay, that's not too bad though. So we know that there's Golgari Thug in their hand and one unknown. And ooh, that's an interesting draw. But sadly we can't cast it. We can now endurance them, because we've got Eladamri's Call and green card. See what our opponent does here. Ancient Grudge is that's an interesting one to bring in against us. There's a Creeping Chill, but don't care about that yet. Okay, they're just taking their draw. Another gaze. Gemstone mine, 2 gemstone mines into the bin. So we'll just call here for endurance. So we're going to have to play our Boseiju. I wonder if we're better off casting Risen Reef than hard casting this. So we cast Risen Reef. No, I think this is just fine. Then next time we can go Risen Reef. Okay. So no real reason to do anything. We'd like to find a land, please. Another Eladamri's call. I think this is probably just fine. You know, that's essentially just another copy of Endurance. So as if they put the Ox in, we'll want to do it now, but anything else I think can stay. So I have to discard, so I'll just get rid of this ending. Probably should have got rid of the Dovin's Veto actually. Narcomoeba, they've got a Conflagrate, Narcomoeba, Prized Amalgam. So I'm going to cast the Endurance now. Maybe this is wrong. Is this a trap? I could go Endurance Pitch. When does this come in at the end? I think I'm going to let the Narcomoeba resolve. I think that's fine. But yeah, Narcomoeba can resolve. But I think the rest... okay, they're just hard casting a Golgari Thug, that's fine. So yeah, now we're going to Endurance, because we have another one, potentially. Worth noting that Endurance blocks Narcomoeba as well. Okay, another green land is not ideal. So, but we play it. So yeah, let's play that, and then we can... I think I want to save everything for okay, opponent's got another Worldly Gaze. Yeah, we'll just save this Eladamri's Call, and then we can go and grab another copy of Endurance. Okay, so they're going to dredge the Thug. There's Creeping Chill, but we don't... Again, I think I'm just going to let Creeping Chill happen, because we kind of time walk them here. We'll block. Like if they want to put this... Is it up to 1 this? Put target creature... Because then they won't... If they do that, they have to put Golgari Thug itself. Because otherwise they don't get the... Okay, so here I don't think I care about that because we can just Fury it all away. So we'll lower Damri's Call just as like a safety valve, I suppose. Just go and get another Endurance, and then we'll probably just Fury everything away. Wouldn't mind land. Okay, Stomping Ground's good. So let's go. Let's get this blocks well as well. So I'll play my land. Oh, we can't actually cast Prison Reef. So, I could have just hard cast Fury there. Actually, that was possibly better. Okay. We've got another Endurance to hard cast. We are at 11. Yeah, I should have shocked in the Stomping Ground there probably, and maybe just cast Fury, kill both my opponent's creatures. Okay, so opponents put another Silver Smoke Ghoul into the graveyard. We could Endurance now, but again, it's usually better to wait until they kind of do some stuff with their triggers. Okay, so I'm going to do it now because our opponent has found Ox of Agonis. So yeah, opponents found the Ox, so we don't want to let them cast that. We clear out quite a lot of good stuff from our opponent's graveyard as well. 3 mana, just a Stinkweed Imp. Okay, so we can now actually just go Fury, kill everything. Oh, Abundant Growth's a good draw actually. That actually allows us to Omnath. Let's go Abundant Growth here. Wouldn't mind a fetch land here. Okay, Plains isn't too bad. Do we go Risen Reef? Or do we just go Omnath? I think I'm just going to go Omnath. If we find a fetch land, it's just super strong. We do indeed find a fetch land. So I think here I'm just going to I think I'm just going to cast a Fury. I don't know if we're running Basic Mountain in this list. We might not be. We are not running Basic Mountain. Okay, so we have to go and get Steam Vents. Okay, so we kill all those. And we can attack with everything. We are kind of at the mercy of my opponents now. Maybe we weren't meant to kill their Stinkweed Imp. I can definitely see that. They get... Okay, opponent concedes. Which is probably fair enough. So they get to Creeping Chillus, go up to 12. They put Prized Amalgam tapped, Silver Smoke Ghoul tapped, and one copy of Narcomoeba. Narcomoeba blocks the Fury. They're at 12. They go for 10. Yeah, I mean, we could just Solitude the Narcomoeba as well. They go up to 13, and then we've got 6, 10. Yeah, we've got more than enough because they can't block the Fury. Okay, well, convincing win against Dredge there. So we're 3-0. See you for the next round. Right, here we are for round number 4. Yeah, this is a keep. Any hand that does turn 2 red and 6 is usually a keep, especially since we've got this prismatic ending. Yeah, I mean, in a vacuum here, we can go turn 1 this, turn 2 this, turn 3 this, turn 4 this, well, potentially turn 4 this. But yeah, obviously our opponent will be doing their utmost to stop us. Let's see what my opponent's on. Don't want to see Cavern of Souls. Oh, Amulet. Okay. So, less good here. We really want to draw Boseiju. It's really good. Okay, more of those isn't too bad. So yeah, obviously would have preferred our opponent to go turn 1 Amulet. so that we could have endinged it. So this is going to be Dryad, probably. I think we probably have to... Okay, opponent not going for the Dryad, though, which is interesting. Let's go and get Ralgren Triome here. Ooh, Boseiju. Okay, I think I'm meant to Boseiju right now. So what do we want? We need to get Forest, and then do we need double? It could just be Temple Garden here. Yeah, I think so. So yeah, I think we'll just do this now. Yeah, just dealing with my opponent's dual lands is obviously high on the list of priorities. Could be that our opponent doesn't have a land. Unlikely, but possible. So they've got a Simic Growth Chamber, which is fine. So we're going to go Ren and 6 here. We have to get back... Obviously on the play this would have been insane because we could start now besiegeing their land every turn. Alas, no. I'm not going to Prismatic Ending this. Other decks you do want to spend any spare mana getting rid of this if you're playing Bragavan or whatever, because just is a very annoying thing to have to deal with. Okay, Expedition map. Okay, so I'm just going to go and get the other Triome. No, I shouldn't get the other Triome, actually. I should get a basic land. Because if we draw... I suppose we could Eladamri's Call for Magus as well. So let's just go and grab... We can't get Forest. Do we get Island or Plains? I think I'm just going to get Plains here. Drawing a land would be good. Ephemerate. So... I think here... My opponent doesn't have a amulet. I think I want to get the land first. So let's go... Let's go Windswept Heath. Play Windswept Heath. And then next turn, we can go Omnath. Potentially. Okay, opponent's going to get probably Teleria West. Could be Urza's Saga. Urza's Saga is good because then we can kill it with Magus. Teleria West is obviously used to go and grab... Okay, is Saga... So if this is just Saga go, we can go Eladamri's Call, go get Magus of the Moon. We could even Omnath into Magus of the Moon potentially. Okay, Grazer is okay. So will they put the Saga in? Okay, Cavern of Souls on Giant. Saga. They got a Dryad. Okay, so this is good. So we'll just go... I think we can do quite a lot of stuff here. If we rip a land, let's go and get Magus. Okay, opponent concedes to Magus of the Moon. Probably quite an early concession. So what I was saying was if we can find a land, we can go... Actually, no, we don't need to do that. I was going to say we could go land... We could go Omnath land, make 5 mana, and then go Magus. Oh, we could do it anyway, I think. Magus and buy back Boseiju. We wouldn't have actually had to Boseiju because we'd have had Magus of the Moon out. So okay, so we get there game 1 against Amulet. Opponent was on quite a slow draw, obviously. So Meddling Mage here, I think is probably good. We don't care about Endurance. Supreme Verdict's probably fine. Night of Autumn to kill the Amulet, or kills Urza's Saga as well. Heat is good, Bolt is not. Sprawl is probably good here. We want it in the kind of unfair matchups. Fury does kill the Dryad, so I think we want that. We definitely want the endings, definitely want the Solitudes. Ice Fang is a bit poor. I think I'm actually going to bring in a Chalice, because Chalice on 0 is good against them, and I think that's pretty good. Renin 6 used to be a cut, but with Boseiju we're going to keep that in. I mean, is Verdict going to be too slow? Is Verdict too slow here? I think I'd rather have Chalice than Verdict. Yeah, we'll go with that. Keeping in all the copies of Eladamri's Call, obviously. We want to be finding the Magus or potentially Meddling Mage. Meddling Mage not quite the slam dunk it sometimes was, I guess, because they do run Cultivator Colossus. I guess they possibly struggle to kill it though. Oh, that's close. Okay, Yorion. Ooh, now this is awkward. I think we're going to mulligan this. 1 lander. This is better. Obviously, there's every possibility that we won't be... Oh, put one of these back. There's every possibility that we won't get to turn 3 to cast the Magus. We also can't do... we can't cast Magus while fetching our basic lands very easily with this. Okay. I'm just going to play out a Breeding Pool tap to pass the turn. We can go and... well, this needs to fetch red is the problem. Amulet. Beast. Have they got that thing as well? They do. So we can Eladamri's Call for a Eladamri's Call for Solitude if we need to. Yeah, one of the cards in my opponent's hand is a land. It's Teleria West, which is an issue. Although if they Teleria West here, they wouldn't then be able to pay for Pact, potentially. Oh, they do have like infinite mana though. So if they go Teleria... oh, I guess they can Titan... okay, there's a Dryad. So yeah, we're just going to Eladamri's Call for a Solitude. Oh, we know the last card in my opponent's hand is Chalaria West. Okay, so transmute. So can I go and get Summoner's Pact? Yeah. Okay, so that's Eladamri's call. We could grab Meddling Mage here. Could grab Meddling Mage. Or Fury. Or Knight of Autumn. Got a lot of choices. So it needs to be something to stop my... Well, my opponent's got Summoner's Pact next turn. I guess we get Solitude and then cast Magus of the Moon. It's not easy here. Yeah, I think it's Solitude. So we know our opponent's got Summoner's Pact in hand. Okay. So let's go... Because if our opponent goes Summoner's Pact next turn... Oh, but then we cut ourselves off all of our mana. I guess we could Solitude our own Magus. Opponent has Summoner's Pact. So if they go and get Titan next turn, I think we have to Magus here. Yeah, I don't think there's any way around it. I mean, it cuts us off all of our mana as well, but I think we have to... Maybe we should have gone and got Meddling Mage there. Yeah, we should have gone and got Meddling Mage there. That was actually really stupid. I mean, we could just let our opponent cast the Primeval Titan and then go Solitude, Ephemerate, Solitude. I actually don't hate that. Maybe that's just better. So we let our opponent... Oh, yeah, because if they have to then cast Pact... Okay, yeah, I'm sold on that. Okay, yeah. So I should have gone and got Meddling Mage there. I was thinking that they could just Pact in response, but then we obviously name whatever they get. Right, so we'll take Misty here, or do we take Ren? I think we're just going to take Misty. Any order. And then we can just pass the turn. So then we... I mean, letting our opponent get Titan is a bit awkward, obviously. They get Forest. Okay. Makes sense. I suppose we know that they haven't got a bounce land. Okay, they cast Summoner's Pact here. Oh, I guess they can probably go and get another Titan. But we let them do their stuff. Because, yeah, you let them do their stuff here, because there's always a possibility that our opponent makes a mistake. Yeah, I think I got a bit confused around them. But opponent might not be expecting Solitude and Ephemerate. Okay, so double Valakut. Okay, that's fine. So they didn't get anything to give it haste. So do we know the last card in my opponent's hand? We do not, so I might as well not take the damage here. Get rid of Prime Time. ephemerate. Get rid of Dryad. Pass the turn. Okay, I think I am going to ephemerate the Solitude just to get rid of the Grazer. Ooh, Chalice is pretty good. Maybe I should have taken the Wren last turn, but I think we'll just go Risen Reef. And then hopefully next turn so we'll go land. That's a good land to find as well. We'll go Chalice on 0. Pass the turn, so we're not too bad here. Obviously I could have just gone Magus there, but my opponent very smartly gets okay, as a Saga is good for us. Yeah, opponent very smartly got double Forest with their Primeval Titan. Okay. So we'll go and get an island here. We can attack first. Oh yeah, I suppose this is fine because we can actually Yorion blink Magus if we need to. So I'm going to play my Cavern of Souls now, because if we do it after we Magus, it doesn't get the counter. Sorry, not the counter. You can't name anything if you bring it in after. So if my opponent kills the Magus now, we still get this. Okay, opponent does get that. So now we're going to get to go Yorion, do a lot of stuff. So let's go Yorion. There's no point in Utopia sprawling actually. Because you can only enchant forests with Utopia Sprawl, so it would fall off when Magus comes back in. Okay, so I'll put that onto the battlefield. That's a good draw, although we can't actually cast that yet. Oh, basic forest. There we go. Obviously Boseiju is quite good as well. Yeah, Risen Reef, when you get those triggers, is just insane. One card in the opponent's hand. It's a Tireless Tracker, which is quite a good one. Okay, so let's go land, Abundant Growth this. Okay, I guess we can Utopia Sprawl now on the forest. Make extra. Don't need red. We don't have endurance left. Don't really have double blue either. Do we have double white in? I guess Solitude. Make more white. That was silly. I can't cast Ren and 6 now, but there we go. So yeah, we're going to attack with both of these. Happy to trade a Tireless Tracker for our Solitude there. So drawing Ephemerate probably wins us the game. Omnath doesn't. Yeah, we don't really want to draw Omnath now. I mean, we'll take it. Okay, so let's go. We'll attack with everything apart from Magus here. Because if my opponent blocks Risen Reef with his Tireless Tracker will ping it with Renin 6. Renin 6 not really doing much else. Let's go this and this. I think I'm just happy passing the turn now. Don't know what the opponent has in hand. Oh, there's another Dryad. So again, happy to trade Solitude and a Renin 6 ping. Oh, didn't activate my Renin 6. That's bad. Oh, because that would have been lethal next turn. Oh, it still is actually. Okay. Yeah, so we get there. Chalice on 0, pretty good. Well, I have to assume. Opponent probably looking for, don't really know what they were looking for there, but yeah, we get there nicely. So we move on to 4-0. So let's see you for the next round playing for the 5-0. Okay, on the play for our 5-0 match, and we're going to keep this. Okay, we're against Yorion, so could be the mirror, which is interesting. We've got this Magus of the Moon, so I don't know if that means... I'm going to lead on Temple Garden, I think. Let's play this Oath of Nissa. I'm going to take a Flooded Strand, I think. Yeah. Can't take Utopia Sprawl there. Okay, so kind of flooded now a little bit, but I guess that's not too bad. Okay. Yeah, I probably should have just put Yorion to hand there. Ralgrin Triumph, the opponent. We're unlikely to get them with this Magus. If they go to Fairy... I mean, if they tap out here, we're probably actually just slamming Omnath. Really need to play quickly in these matches as well. Okay, there's a Teferi. They might just tick up. They do tick up. Okay, so let's go and get an island here. But then I will go and get a dual land with this one. Go and get capture a triome. Okay, so let's just go Omnath. Pass turn. Because obviously if we just slam Magus there, my opponent just bounces it with Teferi. We're not really presenting my opponent with anything good to bounce. Okay, they bounce Omnath there, which is fine. Could still be Rhinos, I guess. 4-color Rhinos. Okay, my opponent has their own... Oh, I should have... Okay, this is going to be a... This has the potential to be a really nice turn. So we'll go, Utopia Sprawl is actually free, so we'll go Utopia Sprawl this, make green. So that can then make white mana. Red. Yeah. Make Omnath. Then we get to Solitude my opponent's Omnath. I think that's better than casting Magus here. Oh no. Okay, that's a problem. Okay, should probably have thought about that. Now we really need to draw a white card off this. We do, and it's a good one. Okay. Is it better to Solitude no, okay, so I think we have to just go. Okay, so we'll just go and grab a forest here. And then we'll Abundant Growth the forest. Yeah, should have thought about that. Should remember that, really. Our opponent can do that. And then I'm just going to have to do the same to my opponent. Okay, so 5 cards in hand for the opponent. We have 4 cards. We're fairly set up to Magus them. So let's go. I think I'm going to try and do that. So we'll go and get white here. Go Magus of the Moon. Red. Then we need green, so. Opponent might float a load of mana here to Solitude, but if my opponent Solitudes our Magus, we're fairly happy. Or it might just be about to get Prismatic Ending. Okay. So, do we want Brennan's? I think I'm just going to cast Endurance. Do you need to speed up somewhat here? Yeah, we'll target my opponent. Yeah, because we are a minute down on clock, and these matches are often dictated by that. Five cards in hand for the opponent. We do have access to Yorion at some point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not quite the next turn. Worried about counterspell from the opponent. Oh, they found another Omnath. It's pretty good. No land though. I guess we attack here. Ugh, Hallowed Fountain. I think it's got to be worth attacking. Oh, this just reeks of counterspell is the trouble. I'm just going to kill their Ice Fang actually. Play a land. Oh, we could have Yorion that turn because we've got blooming Utopia Sprawl. Yeah, forget about that. Okay, opponent bounces our endurance. I think our opponent probably has counterspell, but we're going to let them kind of do a load of stuff here. Want to gain some time back on the clock. We're definitely behind. Iteration as well is a bit scary. Misty. Okay, so they get to make a hell of a lot of mana here. I'm pretty sure they're holding up counterspell. Adding Yorion to hand. Yeah, I'm not sure we can. Maybe we're meant. Yeah, I think we're meant to wait until we draw Cavern of Souls. I mean, obviously we can't wait forever. Doing this to my opponent just to reduce the effectiveness of any Renin 6 they find. Deluge is a problem as well. They do find Deluge. Okay, so the opponent has a lot of stuff here. But again, we're happy for them to eat into some of their clock because a lot of these matches do go down to time. So we want time to play well in the next matches. We do have this Yorion as well, but if we can get to resolve. Okay, opponent marches our thing. We're going to have to try and jam Yorion at some point, but you know, finding Cavern of Souls, it doesn't actually draw us too many cards. It draws us 1-2 at the moment. Okay, Yorion draws my opponent. Oh, they can. My opponent now has the Yorion loop. Where they choose not to flicker the Teferi. But I'm pretty confident my opponent has counterspell. But drawing Cavern of Souls is still. I mean, yeah, it's technically an out. Okay, well, we'll go for that one first. We can actually play the land first, so that if my opponent wants to Solitude, they'll struggle. Let's cast this properly. So, blue, red. Can't counter both of these. Yeah, maybe I wasn't meant to play that land because then I could have shocked the Teferi. Okay, so, but I guess. Okay, so let's do this. I guess they could do it now. Yeah, that's probably stupid. This. Make some mana. Cast this Solitude. I'm going to cast that instead of the Yorion. Although we can cast the Yorion as well. Just Solitude their Omnath. I think I now pass the turn. I'm pretty sure my opponent has counterspell. Just kind of waiting for my own Teferi or Cavern of Souls. was this? Okay, prismatic ending on my Omnath. It's getting to the stage where we're probably going to have to go for Yorion at some point. Okay, maybe we can just cast this Fury. Okay, it's kind of almost bait here. Opponent could easily have double counterspell. Let's just kill my opponent's Teferi. I think I'm then going to just pass the turn. Draw my own Teferi is really good. Cavern of Souls. Risen Reef is kind of okay. I guess like Eladamri's Call is pretty good. Well, that's a big Teferi. Okay, gets rid of that. I'm still pretty confident my opponent has counterspell that's waiting for this Yorion. I think we've got to cast it now. What's this? Where does this put it? Third from top, so you got one draw on top of my Fury. That needs to be Solitude. And 6. Probably just pings me. Oh, I could have another Ren and 6. Okay, so just okay, they ping me out of the game here. So we lose a game to well, I'm assuming the mirror. Looks like it's more of a controlling shell. It's got iterate. It's not, yeah, not quite the mirror, but it's got big Teferi. It's got the iterations. It's got the marches. So, yeah. So our Cavern of Souls we're going to want here. So we want Emrakul in the mirror. Probably want the Veil of Summers against this kind of build. What don't we like? So we don't want the Utopia Sprawls. Bolt is okay. Only okay though. Magus isn't great. Endurance isn't amazing. I think we want the Deluge. Is that it? Maybe we cut a land. We could cut one copy of Beseiju for just more. I guess endurance isn't bad if my opponent's running Deluge. Let's go with that. See how far we get. Okay, we would like to play first. I mean, we have a lot of looks at lands, but I don't think we can keep one landers in this. That's better. Keep that. Do we keep the ending in case my opponent has Ragavan? I mean, yeah, I think we've got to get rid of Emrakul. We can call for it if need be. Right, go grab a forest and abundant growth said forest. Okay, we do hit a land. So probably Eladamri's Call this turn. Not sure what for. Could just be another Risen Reef actually. No, it's probably Omnath. Okay, could be Renin 6, which will just get prismatic endinged. Okay, so that changes what we're going to... We're going to do a somewhat. I think we'll just go and get Omnath here. Yeah, seems correct. Okay, so we'll go ending the Ren. Play a land of pass. Yeah, I'd really like to draw Cavern of Souls here. Could be another Ren, of course. Oh, it's a fairy. That's fine. I think we'll leave that land uncracked. Solitude. Okay, let's just go this. Play a land. Risen Reef. Yeah, I'll put that onto the battlefield. Just want to ramp a bit here. Obviously the opponent could have Omnath here. Running 6. That's actually really annoying. Opponent can't counterspell now though. I wonder if I meant to just get Fury. Oh, right. No, that's really good. If our opponent has exactly... if our opponent has Solitude, there you go, Solitude this, and I can't make the mana. But I'll still have 2 mana to Ladamri's Call. I think we have to go for that. So go red, green, white. I mean, this is where my opponent's Solitude, if they've got it. They do have it. It's still a 2-for-1 for us. So now we need to hope we draw a red card. Which we obviously don't. Okay. That just worked out really badly for us. Unfortunately. Right, what do we get? Get Hallow Fountain. Gonna have to do this sorcery speed, which is really rough. I suppose 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We could just go and get Emrakul. How bad is that? Or is it just Fury? We got 4 card types: 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, we're still turns away from that, so we're just going to grab Fury. It's not looking good this game though. I think if we drew, yeah, if we draw a red source there, a red spell, sorry, I think we're pretty good. So Cavern of Souls is probably our best draw. Okay. Abundant Growth, so we'll play a land and then Abundant Growth the land. Not bad. Well, that's an Omnath, but just cast his Fury. God, Teferi's been pretty good. Okay, I'm a bit surprised that resolves, but what are we going to kill? I think I was going to kill the Wren and 6. Opponent does have 6 cards in hand. I think at the moment we're kind of mana advantaged. So stopping their Wren and 6 is probably quite a high priority. Iteration quite good. Okay, opponent cycling through a lot of stuff. They got 8 cards in hand. Are they looking for more lands, maybe? Okay, so we'll attack Teferi here. Well, Ephemerate's quite good as well. Okay, opponent has Solitude. Teferi obviously puts a stop to any Ephemerate shenanigans there. Do this. Okay, Omnath resolves. Okay, there's a Risen Reef. Let's cast Risen Reef. Okay, well, that wasn't a bad turn. We can yeah, we've got some good stuff in hand. If we can kill this Teferi, this Ephemerate's going to be really good. We've got a couple of 2-for-1s with our opponents, Solitudes and stuff. Do need to kill the Teferi. What's this? Ending that. Okay, that's okay-ish. So let's go ending the Teferi. Want to unlock our Ephemerates, really. Then we can go Abundant Growth here. Find another Solitude, which isn't too bad. Yeah, this Risen Reef is our ticket back into this game, I think. Okay, there's Yorion. Which isn't too bad. I think we're going to untap here and then we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can hard cast Yorion. Unless our opponent goes for something here. Could be another Teferi, I suppose. I think, yeah, we're just going to untap. Okay, Wren and 6, good draw. Start off with this though. White. Maybe we should be starting out with okay. Okay, so okay, let's go Wren and 6 now, because then we can get back a land for we can definitely fetch white, can't we? Yeah. So go green, green red for Ren and 6. Tick up. And then how much do we actually care about solituding this? Would we rather just hold up Ephemerate? No, I think I'm going to, while I've got the... Put the evoke trigger first, because we might draw Ephemerate. Okay, another reef, not too bad. Opponent's got 4 cards in hand, but if we can... I mean, we've got another Risen Reef in hand, so... If we can get 2 triggers next turn, see what the opponent's got for us. Okay, March on there, not unsurprising. Well, that's a decent draw. Let's go Elemental. Possibly should have named Bird there. No, we don't want to put that onto the battlefield. Cycle that. I think I'm just going to cast this to Fairy. Turn one of these to my hand. Yeah, we're just kind of going off now. Oh, I didn't mean to return that one to my hand, but there we go. Because then next turn we go Omnath, just kind of do everything. And everything's uncounterable anyway. So let's go Omnath. Might as well use this. Another Risen Reef, okay. Land. Yeah, we just kind of get to do a little bit of everything now. We are down on time though, which is a bit rough. So make this. And we're just burying our opponent now. Yeah, I'll put that onto the battlefield. Dome my opponent. Add Yorion to my hand. Oh, I haven't actually got enough mana to do Yorion, but I mean we're just drowning my opponent in cards now. Probably don't need to do all of this. And we draw Ephemerate. Given that we're so far ahead, I don't actually want to show my opponent the... Yeah, I don't want to show my opponent the Emrakul. Is my opponent dead this turn? We got 6, 7 plus Omnath's ping. Yeah, they are dead. They Unholy Heat the Teferi. Attack for 6. Then we want to leave up something we can fetch with Plains or Island. and that kills our opponent. So we do get there game 2, but now we're down on time for game number 3. It does often go like that. The winner usually loses the most time. Okay, so yeah, we didn't want to show them the Emrakul there. I think we can just ship this back. Right, on the draw for this, our final match of this league, and we see a reasonable hand that we're going to keep, I think. We can turn to Eladamri's Call. We're going to need another land. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, we'll take the Misty Rainforest, just secure our land for the coming turns. And then we're going to go Eladamri's Call for... I mean, if my opponent plays... I was going to say if my opponent plays Renin 6, we'll probably just Eladamri's Call for Fury. See what my opponent does. We can't yield here because... okay, iterations, fine. This is the trouble with iteration in these decks. You do lose a lot of tempo in the mirror. Flood Strand. It's definitely possible I should have Eladamri's called in response. Let's just go and grab Hallowed Fountain. Eladamri's Call. What am I getting here? Maybe just another Risen Reef? Got an Omnath. Backup Omnath isn't bad though. So I'm just going to slam to Fairy here. So go grab. I think it's just. Oh, it should be Steam Vents really. Could get disputed, but I think I'm just going to bounce those Oath of Nissa to maximise my cards here. Then discard an Oath of Nissa because they are legendary. Okay. Opponent plays a land. Ending the Teferi. Sure. Wouldn't mind a land here. Okay, no land, so let's go Risen Reef. Maybe we should have Oath of Nissa there. Yeah, it's definitely possible that we should have Oath of Nissa looking for a land. So again, not wanting to auto pass because we want to stop a potential Omnath. Aethergust. Put that on the bottom. Five cards in my opponent's hand. Let's go this first. Ooh, yeah, it has to be Oath of Nissa first, actually, because then we can cast my Renin 6 with any colour. Let's take Teferi. I think we're going to cast this Renin 6 though. Actually, with Abundant Growth first, because then we can cast the Renin 6. Ugh. Really want a land, or for this to resolve, obviously. Not looking like it's going to. Okay, pass the turn. Yeah, missing a land. We had a lot of draws at land there. Opponent got 4 cards in hand, shocking in Sacred Foundry. Okay, so let's go. We'll lead with Wrenn and 6, almost as bait, because my opponent doesn't know that we've drawn a land. And then we can slam to Fairy, because I think we'd rather that resolve now. Memory Deluge, sure. That's fine. Okay, opponent does find a counterspell, but we just do this, fetch. Maybe just basic island. Play to Fairy. We've got 5 cards in hand, so I think I'm just going to again get the value from Oath of Nissa. Essentially draw 2 cards. And then next turn we're going to try and go Omnath. Opponent may I should turn off auto use, because if my opponent Omnath's here, I don't want them making mana, so I'm going to Solitude. Get rid of this. Yeah, we just don't want my opponent making mana from it. Because they could deluge as well there. Hopefully this is just putting Yorion in hand. It is, so fetch land is very good. Yep. Omnath. Play a land. Probably fetch basic planes here. No, get Temple Garden. Go this on here. Draw. Oath of Nissa. We'll take a backup to Fairy. Add Yorion to hand. Tick this up. Pass the turn. We can protect our Omnath with Ephemerate. We've got the Yorion loop coming in. Abundant Growth is fine. I guess if my opponent just goes for Yorion here, I'll just Prismatic Ending the Abundant Growth. Actually, ooh, okay, that's fine. So we'll Prismatic Ending that. Yeah, opponent going for value. Not unsurprisingly. So we'll go. Actually, we can just attack with Omnath. Attack this with Omnath. Oh, they're marching this. That's fine. Sure. Okay, so I'd quite like to Yorion now. We'd quite like to draw a land. Fetch land, that is. Okay, so let's go tip this up. Go. Are we going to do another one of these? 4, that leaves us with 2 mana. Maybe I just Yorion here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I think I have to ending this. Wait. Done. Pass the turn, and then we can ending the. Maybe that was a mistake, because I'm going to need to ending the Yorion as well. Opponent shocking in. What is it? Oh, okay. Yeah, flashing back a deluge is fine. I think I'm going to save this ending for my opponent's Yorion. I need to get creatures onto the field now. Let's try and finish this game. But it could have heat or something, I suppose. Okay, Renan 6. So that one gets endinged at instant speed. Okay, that's a good draw. Play Omnath, draw a card. Play Wooded Foothills. Fetch. Okay, we're trying to play fairly swiftly now. This, 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 and this. Bring a load of stuff, equip here. By equip I mean attach, obviously. Okay. I mean, we are winning this game by a lot. It turns out Teferi's are really good. Just ephemerate this, I guess. Opponent finding Supreme Verdict should be pretty good. But we get to draw a lot of cards. So the opponent has here. Could be Omnath. We can't actually deal with Omnath. Opponent could counterspell our Teferi, I suppose. We've only got a minute is the trouble. And we have a lot of triggers to resolve. It's not looking great for the home team here. Any order. Opponent's got 4 cards in hand. Like in paper, I think we'd definitely be winning this game. I'm not going to cast the Ephemerate. We don't need more cards. So crunch in here. Ether Gust, sure, put it on the bottom. So let's go to Fairy. Oh no, I'm going to lose this on time, I can just feel it. I think I might have to play Fury here. Just to try and win the game next turn. Risen Reef. I'm going to play the Fury. Just putting lethal onto the field. Try and get there. Okay, Emrakul. Yeah, I mean, we're so far ahead in this. Hopefully, yeah, it's just if my opponent can do something to stop us, really. They might have Emrakul. Oh, come on. Like, yeah, we just haven't got time for this. That's the trouble. We're going to lose on time, I think. Oh, yeah. Oh, and I've lost. Yeah, I'm just trying to play too quickly. I wonder if I can Emrakul in time. Oh, yeah, I needed that solitude to. I really needed that solitude to resolve. Yeah. Sadly, we're going to lose this one on time. You know, we're very, very far ahead here. And I'm just playing too quickly. Yeah. Okay, so, I mean, looking at my opponent's hand, we just win the game next turn. So, yeah. Very frustrating. I just didn't quite play quickly enough, but the deck was really, really good. I'm really happy with how it performed. Just a very disappointing end to the league. We were so far ahead there. And yeah, just losing on time. So sadly, we don't get the 5-0, but 5-0 in all but name there. So really happy with the deck. Don't think I'd make any changes whatsoever. Didn't really use the Veil of Summers, I suppose, but they came in quite a bit. Really liking the sideboard. So yeah, going to be running this back again soon. So please do look out for that, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers.